This person is about to step into a sensory deprivation tank. This tank is full of water. The idea is to float in it while being cut off from all outside stimulation. That means no sight or sound, just you and your thoughts. Usually, people spend at most a couple of hours in these tanks, but what if we had you stay inside one for 24 hours? Could this make you go crazy? This is your body on 24 hours in a sensory deprivation tank. Experiments with sensory deprivation tanks began in the 1950s. By the 1970s, commercial tanks appeared on the market. They are an alternative method for pain and stress reduction. But how does a sensory deprivation tank work? And could you spend an entire day in one? Hour 1. Okay, before you enter the tank, you need to remove your clothes. I hope you're not shy. The water is surprisingly warm. It's heated to match your outer skin temperature of approximately 35 degrees. As you settle into the tank, you feel weightless as you float on the water. A high concentration of Epsom salt creates buoyancy. The lid comes down and cuts you off from outside stimulation. There's no sound, sight, or smell, and the buoyancy makes it feel like gravity no longer exists.
Wow!
If you have the slightest hint of claustrophobia, you are immediately going to feel stressed. You'll likely want out right away. But if you don't mind being closed in a dark box, you'll find yourself beginning to relax. The tension in your muscles will lessen and you'll feel at ease. Hour 2. By this point, you are completely relaxed. If you're an athlete, the deprivation tank will speed up your recovery from workouts or muscular injury. It will also improve your psychological state. Laying in a deprivation tank can effectively treat tension headaches, muscle tension, neck stiffness, and pain. You'll reduce your stress levels. Regular use of a deprivation tank could improve the quality of your sleep, better regulate your blood pressure, and improve your cardiovascular health. Hour 6. At this point, you have a deep sense of inner peace. If you're a spiritual person, you may experience spiritual insight and feelings of rebirth. You have an increased sense of well-being and euphoria. You're feeling stimulated creatively as though your imagination and intuition have gotten a boost. You may even begin to hallucinate as your mind tries to deal with the lack of stimulation. You hear voices and see images. You might feel something that seems so real but only exists in your mind. Hour 12. Finding a comfortable position to fall asleep may be difficult if you don't usually sleep on your back. If you roll, the salty water will get into your nostrils and mouth and burn. What is reality, dream, and hallucination may become hard to determine. With so little outside stimulation, your mind is in an unfamiliar state. Your dreams may start to blend with reality, and you could find this unsettling. I don't even know anymore. How long have you been in this tank? You don't know. You've lost all sense of time. Minutes feel like hours. Hours feel like days. Have they forgotten about you? Is anyone going to let you out? Your mind has started to spiral, but instead of shutting down, your brain starts to overload and you lose control of your thoughts. you're panicking. But you remember, there are controls inside the tank that you can use to open the door. You thrash about wildly, trying to find them. Finally, you open the door and you're blinded. As your eyes adjust to the light, the sights, sounds, and smells inundate you, and you relax. Back to reality. The good news is, you don't look like a prune. The high concentration of salt has softened and smoothed your skin. Looking back, once you adjusted to the environment, the sensory deprivation tank was soothing and comforting. For a while. Eventually, the darkness and silence became overwhelming. From now on, you're only spending short periods in the tank. Okay, now that you've spent 24 hours floating on water, let's see what would happen if you spent 24 hours underwater on another episode of Your Body On.